If you have not joined the Makers Club, let me tell you what the Makers Club is. 3,000 creatives that are a part of not just the Patreon, but also the Discord. We have tons of crazy talented people who constantly drop insane fire. And if you want to be able to cook up, create, make stuff, highly suggest you to cop a sample pack or cop something from my store, whether it be merch, whether it be clothes, whether it be music, whatever. Like, cop something. You will receive an email to your email of like the dopest community of creating and cooking up. Like, I guarantee you're gonna walk away with like some form of inspiration. So I just wanted to say that, and let's get back to it.
And if you don't know what the gauntlet is,
what's good, Raymond G?
Finna get party. Let's go. Let's party.
Finna get him on his joint. There you go, bro.
How we feeling, chat? Good? Oh, we on? Okay.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin, Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room, yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. I'm swimming in the money, the women, applause. My gifts that I use from above, but missed the way we live when we was broke in my apartment. Both of us work jobs we hate. Look, I'm touched by the praise, but this was hard to achieve. So please, you meant many times.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
Keep going, go on.
Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body.
It's like that.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin, Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room, yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. I'm swimming in the money, the women, applause. My gifts that I use from above, but missed the way we live when we was broke in my apartment. Both of us work jobs we hate. Look, I'm touched by the praise, but this was hard to achieve. So please, you know how many times thought about giving up, but if you right here, then start. Cowboy.
Shout out to Cowboy for the one time.
Body, spirit. Cowboy.
I gotta dry like tape up the whole thing. So Raymond G says, I'm gonna grab the fire extinguisher. Big love, brother. Big love, man.
Much love.
You know how we get down here. We do it live. The mic is on, okay? It is on at all times.
Since I checked in, mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. Swimming in the money.
I'm gonna give y'all a little vocal mixing technique that I often think about. So a lot of folks sometimes don't ever know how to. Oh, big ups from Rotterdam. That's what I was trying to tell you about. Rotterdam. Rotterdam is fire. Micah says my house is already burned down. To the ashes, 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 to the ground it goes. You know what my favorite word is? Smithereens. Smithereens. strings. So, regarding vocals, one of my favorite things I love doing is whenever I want to get a good level on a vocal, of course, you got beats, you got vocals. I'm going to give you the most easiest way of approaching just a quick vocal mix, just a straight, quick vocal mix. And actually, we beat the timer. Look at this. We beat a 20-minute timer. Like, it's like 10 seconds left on it. But
Top that.
But basically, I'll give you a little game changer of thought process when it comes to vocal mixing. So whenever you got a track and it sounds dope and you want to be able to mix the vocal, I'm gonna give you some very small, very, very small sensitive tips to approach mixing a vocal with. So obviously we got Paul here and he is going in, right?
Like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling.
This is a very dry vocal. There's nothing on here. We are using the TLM 102. It is being recorded through the Scarlett 18 input, 20 out interface. It's a rack mount interface. I'll probably do this in like post where I show you guys what interface it is. But if you want to look it up, Scarlett 18i, it's incredible. But that's the interface that I'm running these vocals through, and that's what this microphone is picking up. Now here, when it regards to the song, I'll just play you like raw what it is.
Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. Swimming in the money, women, applause, the gifts that I use from above. But missed the way we lived when we was broke in my apartment. Both of us work jobs we hate. Look, I'm touched by the praise, but this was hard to achieve. So please, you meant many times. Yeah, come on.
So check this out. You guys hear the beat is way louder. Like it is way louder than the vocal. And if you're trying to mix vocals, the most obvious thing to think about is how can I position the vocal to be like in a good place? Well, there's some simple rules of matter you need to follow. One, turn the beat down. Okay, so whatever is in this track that is currently the beat, we could easily just, select it all. I love Ableton for this reason. You can literally select it all, group tracks, and just simply turn it down. My whole rule of thumb is negative 10 decibels. I say negative 10 because it gives you enough headroom to kind of turn things up and turn things down. The whole point is to work your way up versus like tear it back down. So even if you recorded like mad loud and the volume's at 0, like don't be afraid. You could just turn it all down. Just turn it down. So
feel like it's been a minute since I checked.
Just negative 10
Mind,
this.
body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. Was swimming in the money, the women, applause, the
Yes.
gifts that I use.
Whatever you got on the instrumentation, negative 10, trust me, you will thank yourself later. It is very recommendatory. It's recommendatory, okay? Turn the vocal down, negative 10. Crash X Fleet says negative 15. Now, I will go lower if there was strictly like vocals. And like sometimes whenever I record certain artists or certain people, vocals will tend to be a little bit quieter. Like certain artists, their vocals are a lot quieter than, someone like Cowboy here, who his vocal, he has presence. He has a lot of presence in his voice. So he can make it sound as loud and as quiet as he wants to, but not everybody does that. So you have to keep that in mind when it comes to certain artists. It's just a matter of what do you want to have control over?
Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in.
So regarding
Mind,
this
body,
mix,
spirit, I was feeling so neglected. Was
Let me
swimming
give
in
you a
the
little
money,
something.
the women, applause.
I'm gonna turn
the
his
gifts
vocal
that I
down,
used from above, but missed the
maybe
way we
negative
lived.
6.
We was broke in my apartment. Both of
Now
us
this
worked
is also
jobs.
another part that people tend to forget as well. Gain matching. Okay? What is gain matching? Gain matching is where you match the gain to the volume. Gain, volume. Volume and gain are they're separate. They're the same entity, but they're separate. Okay? You can crank the gain on a microphone and still be negative 30. Okay? That is a very possible thing. So what I usually do is I like to at least get a good read on how loud his vocal is. So I'm just going to solo this real quick. And I'm actually gonna set my timer for like 15 minutes because I could really snowball this topic if I chose to. So the second half of it.
Drop y'all the code so y'all can choose creativity.
Oh, this is it right here.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Drop y'all the code so y'all can
I'm just gonna solo this vocal.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Drop y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room. Yeah, that's the Trinity.
Now, you can see here. Well, my bad. Let me see here.
My soul, moving with divinity. Me and
this is
Kaelin
it.
Ellis, we gave you accessibility.
Let me go ahead and turn this off because I know this is one of the inputs I don't need right here. I don't need the input here. Not here. Resampling. There we go. Well, no. I just want to turn that off. Yeah. Boom. Let's just hit. I'll just hit live stream right now just to be able to turn it off. But check this out. So let's just take a good listen to where his vocal is, right?
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room. Yeah, that's the Trinity.
So we're sitting at negative 10 decibels just where the volume is sitting. Now, what's funny is the volume is at negative 6. And the overall rate of where it is sitting at negative 10. So the beauty about this is we have enough leeway to just kind of crank it. Now, here's the thing that people tend to mess up. And I'm already cranking it a little bit, but I might just boost this maybe like a good 5, which is cool. It's calm.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility.
Crazy little tidbit. Whenever I go about game matching and vocals, a lot of the times people will be like, whenever you're recording vocals with them, somebody will say, oh, my vocal is too warm, or it's like not warm enough. It's the gain. You crank that gain, you start getting a little bit warmer on a signal. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Warm, crank the gain, less, not as much gain. So I love how clear his vocal is already cutting through. So I'm gonna just give you a little simple tidbit. First and foremost, I always saturate everything. So
balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility.
So speaking of accessibility, I have a KFX rack that I use that has literally all of the Ableton Live. That's all of the Ableton Live tidbits you could think of. So it has saturator, EQ, all of that. And so I use my KFX to kind of just at least get a good signal and go from there. So number one thing, I'm gonna actually mute this real quick so we can just hear the vocal.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room. Yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. Was swimming in the money, the women, applause.
Now, here's something cool about the KFX. One of the things I love doing is after saturating, I have this little analog EQ emulator. It does something to the low end frequencies of whatever it touches. It just somehow, some way makes things more punchier. It's a weird setup for frequencies, but they usually say if you could shave off a certain like level of low end, you can achieve like shaping a sound with frequencies. So it's just a little EQ. It's just a little small EQ that's in the KFX.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room. Yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected.
Scoping the mids of the instrument is also a cheap way to do it. Exactly. There's so many different methods to doing this. I'm just showing y'all how I go about it. But
dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us
and one thing as
God
well,
in the room.
I know as well with his vocal.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility.
Throw him a little reverb.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could
Turn
choose
it down a little bit.
creativity. Us and then God in the room. Yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like.
There's delay as well. You could mess with that as well. All these little elements are in the KFX. Give it a little sauce. Give it a little thing.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room.
Yeah, for vocals, and this is really the point. It's not necessarily to honor the number -10 decibels, but the whole point of turning things down -10 is so you have space. Okay? That's the principle. The principle is to have space that you carved out so your voice can sit on top of it. You can turn it up, turn it down. That's the whole point. Keep the volume at max, depending on how loud someone's voice. If someone's voice is loud, don't be going like -15, -20. Use that. You got to use what you got. If something's loud already, use the loudness. Don't fight it. Okay? So that's the point. Okay?
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room.
So yeah, that's usually the point that people tend to forget to explain when it comes to mixing. You're not just emulating what someone's doing on a tutorial, but there's a principle of how something works. And once you apply that principle, you can use it to do other things. That's why if you notice whenever you're making beats, certain things sound punchier than others. It's because the way you approached it probably there's a principle behind it that worked, and you just didn't know it. And most producers don't really know until they're like, well, how do I mix? You make beats. You know how to mix without realizing it. Most beat makers don't realize they know how to mix without realizing it.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility.
Now, here's the last part. One of my favorite things I love adding just on top of all of this, and I might actually add this to the EQ channel on my KFX, is the multiband dynamics. Go to a multiband, and there's a preset called OTT. What I love about OTT is it literally just squashes all the high, mid, and low frequencies on a compressor, and you can individually compress 3 different bands of frequencies. Like you can compress all of it to the same dynamic range so you have better control. That's the point. So OTT on EQ, the mount is going to be at 100%. So trust me, when you play it, it's going to sound really OD.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity.
You could turn that down. I say maybe like to taste, okay? Treat it like salting soup.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility.
Now I like that. Now I can go ahead and go back to this instrumentation and be like, all right, what do we got here?
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room. Yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected.
You see why I said -10? Because you could just work your way up. Okay? You can just work your way up. You ain't got to think too much.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin, Cowboy.
Shout out to Cowboy for the one time.
Mind, body, soul.
Woo! Wait. Hold up. This is a whole idea now. I'm going to just chop it up.
Mind, body, soul.
This is what I'm going to do. Turn this off.
Mind, body.
There we go. Now I'm just messing around with it.
Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul.
Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul.
I'm gonna open that up.
Body, soul,
Let me open at that low end. I think with the low end is gonna make it.
mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul,
Yep, right there.
mind, body, soul, mind, body,
Yeah.
body, soul, mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul.
I'm gonna put this over here. Copy. I'm gonna copy this piece over here. Now that you got all your pieces, you can start messing around with it. You can start playing around with where you want certain chops, like the audio to go. And this is just a simple setup for the vocal. Mind you, I didn't even EQ anything. Everything is just leveled. Okay? It's just level, and you got a simple template. Easiest way to go about it. I'm going to delete all of this. Loop all this, delete, time.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all.
Yeah.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room, yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so.
Woo!
Mind, body, soul,
You see what I'm saying?
mind, body.
You could go ahead and have fun with this. You could literally duplicate whatever. I love KFX for this reason. So watch this.
Mind, body, soul. 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 Mind, body, soul.
Ooh.
So, mind, body, soul. Mind, body.
Crank the
soul.
gain up. Make it a little warmer.
Mind, body, soul.
And this is where you can have fun with it. You can just crank his gain.
Soul. Mind, body, soul.
Start having fun with it.
Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul.
I'm gonna get the low end right here to like start coming in.
Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul.
Ooh.
Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code so y'all could choose creativity. Us and then God in the room, yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. Was swimming in the money, the women, applause, the gifts that I used from above. I missed the way we lived when we was broke in my apartment. Both of us work jobs we hate. Look, I'm touched by the praise, but this was hard to achieve. So please, you know how many times thought about giving up, but if you right here, then start. Cowboy.
How fluent is the workflow on Ableton if you just use a laptop? You could use a mouse, okay? Use a mouse, because this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna start moving like this. You ain't gonna know what to do next. You're just gonna sit back and be like, all right. But yeah, get yourself an old school mouse.
Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul.
That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying?
Soul. Mind, body, soul.
Balancing my soul, moving with divinity. Me and Kaelin Ellis, we gave you accessibility. Dropped y'all the code
That's
so
what I'm
y'all could
talking
choose
about.
creativity. Us and then God in the room, yeah, that's the Trinity. Feel like it's been a minute since I checked in. Mind, body, spirit, I was feeling so neglected. Was swimming in the money, the women, applause, the gifts that I used from above. I missed the way we lived when we was broke in my apartment. Both of us work jobs we hate. Look, I'm touched by the praise, but this was hard to achieve. So please, you know how many times thought about giving up, but if you right here, then start. Cowboy.
Yeah, so that's about it. I hope that made sense, y'all. Shout out to Cowboy for the one time.
How we feeling, chat? We good? Oh, we on? Okay.
Crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna save that as is and be like, yeah, let me just go and delete this. Mind, body, soul. That's the first one. That's the first one. We gonna work our way up to get it to a whole bunch more than that. But if you want to tap in, cop a sample pack, see what's going down. Let's see here. 2. We're on beat 201 for the year. Mind, body. So shout out. Hold on. I gotta shout out to Focus, bro. Mind, body, soul with Kyle BZ.